Committee for the Green Party of Shelby County. And we're just going to have a couple speakers before Jill Stein comes on to the microphone, okay? So just a couple housekeeping things. The restrooms are over there past the exit sign. And then also, we are passing around some sign-in sheets. Make sure to sign up for Jill's newsletter. And then we also have Lawrence over here, who's the Southern Regional Coordinator. Hey, Lawrence. Thank you so much for your help. Make sure to visit Lawrence and buy some of the swag. So we've got buttons, I think we've got yard signs, and then we also have some bumper stickers. And then also make sure to take some literature. And make sure to take plenty of literature, not just for yourself, but also for your friends, families, and loved ones, okay? And then also, where's Mary Pat? Mary Pat, are you here? Where are you? Okay, thanks. Mary Pat is a student. She is helping to coordinate Young Greens Rising, which is a campus-centric group. So if there are any students in the audience, yay! So if there are any students who are interested in participating in the Young Greens Rising, definitely check out Mary Pat or get in touch with one of the coordinators of this event later on, okay? And so with that, I'm going to hand it off to Aaron Fowles, who is the other co-chair of the coordinating committee. Thanks.
Number one, thank each and every one of you for being here. So absolutely, thank you so much. And I'm going to talk to you about a theme that's important to me, and it's the power of one and the power of many, juxtaposed with the slogan of the Stein campaign, which is, it's in our hands. And has anyone seen Never Ending Story?
Yeah.
They look like big, strong hands, right? So everyone look at your hands for a second. And I'm going to use your hands to make a point. So I'd like everyone to stand up for me real quick. I'm a school teacher, y'all. Do what I say. Okay, now this one you have to do what I say, and you have to do what I do. Okay? So put your hands out in front of you. Put your thummies up. Okay? Now put your thummies down. Okay? Reach your left hand over your right hand and close your fingers together and put your thummies down, okay? And get them up kind of high, okay? Kind of high.
Okay, now
little bit higher, okay? Now on three, do exactly as I do. 1, 2, 3. You can all sit down now. So right now, I'm willing to bet that every one of you is thinking, how the heck did he do that? So I'm one person, and inside of all of your imaginations right now, a little fire is now burning about how did this guy do this magic trick? But what if we collectively talked about it? I bet you could figure it out. But rather than talking about how to solve a stupid magic trick, what if we all talked together about solving housing inequality, food inequality, income inequality, educational inequality? And what if all of us in 6 months' time had a project, and we got about 100 people together, and then the power of one, which became the power of many, becomes the power of many more? And what if the one person who started that process is not Aaron Fowles, Joe Schmuck from Raleigh, but President Jill Stein in Washington, D.C.? Thank you, thank your hands, and put your hands together to welcome Katie Culver of the Green Party of Tennessee.
Oh man, I really want to be able to walk. What a pace. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you Aaron and the Green Party of Shelby County for hosting us. Thank you Amurica for opening the doors to us. Thank you all of you for coming out, taking time from your day to be here. My name is Kate Culver. I am a longtime Green. I'm one of the co-founders of the Green Party of Tennessee. I spent 16 years on the national committee. I served 2 terms as a Green Party of the United States co-chair. And I am so excited about what's happening right now because we've had this skeleton crew for all these 16 years, and I just love that you are all here and excited about what's happening politically these days. You know, we probably had parents who loved us very, very much and shared their values with us and things that were important to them. And we took on what was really important to us, and we probably passed that on to our children. And then there may be things that our parents believed and held true and worked for them that aren't working for us anymore. We got a new time and we're thinking things in new ways. And so we have to say no more. I'm not passing that kind of a belief system on to my children. And our nation is very much the same way. We can look back at our past and see our history and see that there are times when we got it right. We did do some good things. But there is a big black cloud over our nation as well. There are things that we did not get right. And so it is our job here to stand up and say, no more. This behavior stops now. I can get depressed like many of us can when I look around the world and I see the things that are going on, and it's heartbreaking. And I know for those people who are actually in the midst of it, it's much more than heartbreaking. But then I have to remember that the darkness is the beginning of the story. The darkness is the beginning of the story. And so when we look at our nation and we see the miraculous start that it had, it was innovative and it was experimental, but it had this big black cloud of slavery. So our nation started under a cloud of slavery, under a darkness of slavery, but the people rose and they formed the abolitionist movement, and the abolitionist movement ended slavery as U.S. policy. And we had the darkness of women's voices silenced and our decision-making as a nation. And the people arose, and they started the suffragist movement. And the suffragist movement resulted in the ratification of the 19th Amendment and women's right to vote. We had the darkness of legalized segregation and Jim Crow laws. And, say it with me, the people arose. And we got the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Movement brought us the Civil Rights Act. So we know that in the beginning there is darkness, but then we arise. And this is a time to arise. This is a time when we know that the darkness is here, but we see the light of this darkness. We see the light of a new dawn coming. And I see that light in Jill Stein.
Yeah.
When the other major candidates were rubbing elbows with all of their big donors and doing their thing, Jill was out there with the people, the Standing Rock Sioux in North Dakota. And so you might say, well, how does that make her a good president? And let me just tell you a little bit about Jill. Her resume is phenomenal, and I encourage you to look at her website and check it all out, because I do not have time to go through the litany of incredible things she has done. But basically, Jill got both her undergraduate degree and her medical degree from Harvard University. She taught medicine at Harvard. So I believe that Jill Stein has the gravitas to lead a green White House.
Yeah.
More importantly to me, and perhaps more importantly to all of you too, is that Jill has the courage to stand up to the status quo. Right? She's not bought by corporate donors. She has the freedom to actually speak the truth, to challenge the status quo, and to bring us the kinds of policy that we want. So, she's also received a whole bunch of awards, and I just got to say this one. My favorite award is she won the Children's Health Hero Award. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So I just remind you that first there is the darkness, and then there arises, and a movement is created when the people say, we are not going to do this any longer. We're not going to follow the wrongs, and we arise. And Jill is a candidate that we can arise for. So I want all of you to give a rising welcome to the next President of the United States, Dr. Jill Stein.